It's too easy to get complacent, take for granted the things we love. For me to be here, a lot have fallen, but to fall below is to climb above.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Making a Film from Nothing. Quick note, I had planned on the screenwriting video being just that, one video. However, upon delving into the subject and mulling over all of the amazing things I've learned about storytelling, the backbone of screenwriting, I felt it would be remiss to skip through the most fundamental aspect of the screenplay, which is storytelling itself.
Oh my God.
Therefore, I've split this section of the series into 2 parts. Screenwriting Part 1, Storytelling, and Screenwriting Part 2, Outlining and Format, so please enjoy. Today I'd like to take a look at screenwriting and some of the resources I found the most helpful when I was writing my own. Also, I'll be breaking down some of the things I've learned and am still discovering about the process of writing a screenplay. From help generating ideas, my favorite outlining strategies, and the art of storytelling itself, to properly formatting your screenplay. I hope you find these resources valuable in your own writing endeavors. Lastly, I'd like to take a moment to discuss how we should think about screenwriting. Is it purely directional? Is it literature? How should we define a screenplay when considering our reader? I believe we are all naturally gifted with the ability to tell a good story. We are constantly creating them in our everyday lives, subconsciously sifting through the enormous amount of potential stimulus being thrown at us from moment to moment, and picking out that which is most relevant in our own narratives, while forgetting the parts that didn't matter so much. Our minds are continuously creating epic personal narratives starring ourselves as protagonists. We form a representation of ourselves as the lead, while in our mind's eye, writing the supporting or conflicting character interpretations of the people we experience throughout our lives. But why do we operate in such a way? What do we gain as people by storytelling? What's the benefit? And for the love of God, why are we the most captivated by the stories that leave us in a puddle of our own tears, or keep us frozen on the edge of our seats with our hearts pounding, or scare us to the point of triple-checking our deadbolts and going to bed with the lights on? The YouTube channel The Art of Story offers detailed insight on this very subject, trying to answer the simple question, why do we tell stories, in the video Story in Mind, Why Do We Tell Stories? For myself, simply better understanding the why of storytelling was the perfect starting point on what I hope will be a lifelong journey to becoming a better writer. So we've established that all human beings are naturally capable storytellers, or at least I believe they are. So what constitutes a good story? The YouTube channel D for Darius offers the video What Makes a Good Story. Here, D for Darius gives us the cornerstones of a good story: conflict, stakes, sympathetic characters, and transformation. Characters must encounter conflict in order to be fully expressed. Stakes must be established as a result of our conflict, forcing our characters to risk some sort of loss if they fail. The characters must also invoke an emotional investment on our part, meaning we have to like them enough to care what happens to them. Finally, there must be a transformation as a result of the conflict encountered in order to ensure a payoff for having invested our emotional attention in the characters and in their struggle. I'll throw in the seemingly obvious that every good story probably requires a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning, where we get to know our characters and settings and set up the conflict, as well as the stakes involved. The middle, where we find our characters challenged via their attempts at overcoming the aforementioned conflict. And the end, where we'll find transformation in one or more characters as resolution to the central conflict is attained. The caveat to the end being, there are times in which artists choose to leave the resolution up in the air for the audience to discern for themselves. This can be frustrating for those who've given their time and attention up to this point, but it also offers viewers' own limitless imaginations as potential payoff for having emotionally invested in the story. To be honest, it's a bit of a toss-up for me as to whether the risk of a potentially frustrated audience is worth leaving the resolution up to them to work out for themselves. Maybe it's something worth considering in the future, well after having gotten my sea legs as a storyteller. Finally, something I've learned is key to good storytelling and ensures a fully engaged audience if our stories employ it well, is entertainment value. This is the thing that keeps the audience wanting to know more. It keeps the viewer curious and wanting for more. The Art of the Stories video, The Art of Entertainment, is a must-watch if your goal in screenwriting is to capture and hold your audience's attention. I'll give you my highly summarized interpretation of entertainment as I understand it. It's the process, a subtle ebb and flow, if I'm explaining it well, of challenging the audience and rewarding them for their participation in order to keep their attention and fully engage them in the story itself. I highly recommend you go and watch this video for a much more thought-provoking exploration of the subject and its value for storytellers and audiences alike. I think that wraps up some of the essential elements of the story itself. Before we finish, I've offered a few links in the description below to help you if you find yourself struggling for story ideas. The first is writingexercises.co.uk and the second, creativewritingnow.com. They're worth having a look at and have helped me out of a slump more than once. I will always recommend brainstorming when all else fails, but a writing prompt never hurt anyone in need of a little nudge. The Art of Story has another video I found quite valuable to anyone interested in good storytelling, character arcs, and themes. Good characters, as we've established, are essential to the art of telling a good story. I found a great starting point for creating those kinds of characters in this video. The YouTube channels Every Frame of Painting and Nerdwriter1 are great places for some of the best film studies I've found online. Both of these channels help me to think much more deeply about the subtleties involved in constructing and presenting a truly great story. I've found myself many times walking away from these videos with greater understanding of the artist-audience relationship, as well as having gained a greater inspiration and motivation for myself as an aspiring storyteller. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week, I'll cover some of the best resources online, as well as here on YouTube, that I've found for learning to outline, compose, and format your screenplay. Until then, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, if you'd like to get notifications when new videos are uploaded, please click on the notification button below. See you next time.